let's see, I'll just start. My name is Stuart Ramsey. I'm 24 years old, and let's see. Actually, dude, like you can ask anybody. Like if I haven't surfed, like I get really cranky and like irritable and like yeah, just pissed off, and it's awful. Like I'm not fun to be around. I can less fun to be around, I guess, than if I surf. Like I'm totally fine. It's like therapy or whatever. I don't know, but it works.
Stu's lifestyle isn't for everybody. It's definitely unique.
I started my own nonprofit with a group of my buddies. I do a lot of work in Africa, and I live in the back of my truck. I work 1 day a week at the Apple store.
He works 1 day a week at the Apple store, and he's totally happy with that.
And I live on less than $300 a month.
He sleeps and has all of his stuff in probably a 2 foot by 5 foot by 6 foot long cube, where he has his surfboards, his clothes, himself, and his bed. So it's not for everybody.
So what I ended up doing is I have a small pickup truck and with like a camper shell on the back of it, and I came back and I didn't have a place to live, and I hadn't been making any money while I was working in Africa, volunteering. So I came back and I worked at Apple Computers and just sold computers.
Stu's personal goal right now, I think Stu's personal goal right now is to live as cheap as he can now, and live as free as he can now, and mooch as much as he can right now.
But he won't admit that.
But he'll never admit that.
He'll never admit that he's a moocher.
No, but he is. He 100% a moocher.
100% moocher.
Extraordinaire.
But it also comes back to like this idea that it's all temporary, you know what I mean? Like, and that can be on whatever timeline you want, whether that's like temporary for a year before I move into a house, or it's like temporary for a lifetime too. It's like, you have to do it, like to do what I want to do, which is help people, then that's rad. So yeah, but like if Crochet Kids did succeed, like I mean, it would be this thing that is helping people but is continuing to evolve as well, like with culture and society, and that it like would continue to push people's ways of thinking about whether it's the clothes that they wear, accessories, or whatever, or it would push people's thought process towards any purchase that they would make, and that like who's behind it. Like that is sweet, and at the same time like be successful in helping people, like actually radically changing people's lives, like pulling people out of poverty. Like let's talk about what that could look like.
So I'll start. Stu traveled to Uganda in 2006 to hang out with a friend and just kind of see the place, and he ended up heading up to Gulu with an armed convoy, and just saw hundreds of thousands of people in internal displacement camps, no jobs, some of the most fertile land in the world, some of the greenest land in the world, just completely uncultivated. It's just that there's been a 25-year plus war where rebels have come in and raped women, abducted children, killed fathers, and done anything they can to just put fear into people's hearts. So that's why we started Crochet Kids, was to really combat that, to create attitude change in the region, to empower people to pull themselves out of poverty through paying them a wage and through training them in life skills and budgeting and business, with the hopes that we're minimal. You know, we're just kind of the facilitators of income generation. We're the facilitators of education, but really it's these women, through the job and through themselves, through their attitude and through their interaction with ideas, pulling themselves out of poverty.
On a personal level, like, I have a lot of friends or people that I know that live in a dirt floor hut, you know, and they eat like rice and beans and you know, and roots. And that's totally fine, you know, that's part of their culture, whatever, but part of it's like just because of like devastation that they've gone through that like totally isn't their fault. And it's just, seeing injustice like that is just unreal. Like, it's life-changing. So I came back from that short trip to Uganda, my first trip, and we sat down and we talked about like the possibility of like, what really excited us was the possibility of like actually changing somebody's life, and that it was tangible and like attainable goal. We basically saw that if we could provide jobs, and that would radically change lives there in Uganda, and that we got so excited about that. So hey, this could work. The ball's in our court. Like, we could totally, it would work but it would take a full commitment. Like, we'd have to commit 100%. And if it wasn't that, then it was not worth doing. Well, we knew how to crochet, and that's really what it came down to. Is why like we produce hats, because we'd done it before and they'd sold before. But it's more than crochet, in that crochet is just a vehicle to, or even, I'll try to say it again, but like it allows us to produce a product easily, and allows us to produce a product that allows a consumer to directly change somebody's life. So that's why Crochet Kits exists, for that reason, so that a U.S. consumer can be involved directly in a developing country through a purchase. Well, right now, this winter's we gotta like kind of prove ourselves to ourselves, in that like we gotta sell product, and that is, we want to sell out of everything, so that so that everything works, so we can put that money back into where it needs to go. Because if we sell more product, then that's more money that can go back to either hiring more ladies, expand to different countries, and like support education in those places as well, which is like the only thing that we see that'll like break the cycle of poverty. Over the last 2 years, like some mornings I'll wake up and I'll just be like, this thing, it's like literally like holding on by a thread. But and like if it's not like pursued and like loved, and like if I'm not pouring enough energy or work into it or whatever, then it's, you know, then it's gonna fail, and like that's, people are worse off because of it, you know. Like that idea has always scared me from the beginning. It's like helping people in general. It's like that if I can't like fully follow through, or like have fully committed, and like I fail, then like am I doing more harm than good? Like that's scary. Yeah, it's motivation for everything. Like I have to do a good job, because that is what's going to make a difference.
I think helping others is a difficult thing to define because it doesn't have, a single definition. It's sometimes like a helping hand, and sometimes, feeding somebody food when they don't have food, but other times it's like giving a stern kick in the butt and saying, get out of here. So I think it's in reality, it's a gut check. A gut check that you have to ask yourself, am I caring for this person in the best way that I can? Whether it's a difficult decision, whether it's an easy decision, whether it makes you feel good or whether it makes you feel bad. I think that's the reality that you have to, or the questions you have to ask yourself when you're dealing with how do I help somebody. Because in Uganda it makes sense to give food away, to pay for medical bills, to put kids through school. Like when you get to know somebody, we're really good friends with the ladies that we work with every day. But if we're thinking about their futures and we're thinking about a time when maybe we're not in Uganda, we have to consider the harder part of the process, which is doing capacity development and teaching them how to save money so that when they do get into tough times, they have money saved up. And if we're just giving them money that whole time, what incentive do they have to save?
What it comes down to is I think to really truly help someone is you have to love them or love that thing more than you could love yourself.
Since we did commit, we are then responsible. I guess it's like everybody's greatest fear would be like failure at something, but at the same time it's like we've failed so many times and it's only made us better, so it's a hard thing to say that so I guess I'm not afraid of it, because it's been so beneficial for us, but and for myself personally, it's like this didn't work out so well, and you learn so much more that way. Help is empowerment, which could be further defined, or maybe just synonym in my mind has always been freedom of choice. People are free to choose rather than being oppressed by anything, whether that's economic, whatever. But empowerment is helping people, and because freedom comes from that. Helping others is hard, but I think it starts with relationships. Who are you currently surrounded with, and why do you think you're surrounded by those people, and how do you love them better?